The unit, 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 the unit.
What is up? What is up? You are Stone Divine. Welcome back to another episode of the Unit Podcast. This is episode 11. Still going. I'm just a podcaster. I am just a Stone Divine podcaster. If I was a proper podcaster, I would have adjusted my mic before I absolutely sat down. But before I started recording, actually, not before I sat down. I'm in a rush. I'm very unprepared today. I've no correspondence, listener questions. That's what they call them. Correspondence. And things that I was supposed to... Sorry, I'm losing the run of myself. What am I saying? Things what I was supposed to talk about on the episode. Things what I was supposed to play for you on the episode. Very unprepared, but here we go. Staying consistent. You're not missing an episode. There's never going to be an episode that you miss. I'm going to be doing this in 2046. I'm going to be like, hello, it's the Unit Podcast. Not like that. So, yeah, I hope you're prepared. I hope you're ready. But yeah, what I'm trying to say to you is, ye are absolutely Stone Divine, Jet Divine. Welcome back. And welcome. Do I say welcome back to another episode? I don't, do I? Wait, do you have a second chair now? Oh, giving away the secrets. There's a second seat there next to me. But anyway, do I say like you're welcome back to another episode or you're welcome to another episode? I suppose I'd say you're welcome. You are welcome. You're very Stone Divine, absolutely physically welcome to this episode, isn't it? Welcome back. It's another episode of the Unit Podcast with me, your boy, your host, the Peppa Pig fella, that idiot. Lads, every week the feedback is brilliant. From messages I'm getting, comments, people that I'm meeting on the street, absolutely brilliant. There's loads of people there and they're like, yeah, I listen every week. And I'm like, what? You listen? That's mad. And I'm happy. I'm very happy with that. And I'm so proud of what I've built. I'm going to say it. I'm just so proud of everything that I'm doing. I am. Because this is not me. I can't start things. I can't finish things. I can't continue to do things properly. And I'm doing it. I started this. I'm still doing it. I'm not ending it. Because I am the man. Now, if this isn't recording, I'm not the man. But it is recording, so I am the man. I just checked. I have no glasses. They're outside and totally Stone Divine unprepared. I'm just out of the shower. And before I went into the shower, I was at the sink, right? And I had the hot tap running. And the hot tap wasn't hot tapping. Do you get me? It like, I was kind of looking at it going like, come on, hot tap, start hot tapping. I was thinking in my head. And then I had a chat with the tap. I turned it on. I turned on the water more stronger than it was coming out like. And it still wasn't hot tapping. So I just said, please don't do this to me. I said those words loudly, like not loudly, like, but if you talk in the bathroom and there's nobody around to hear it, does it really make a sound? It does, because I could hear it echoed as well. I said, don't do this to me. And then I put my hand under the water and it was hot. And I said, thanks for not doing that to me. And then I was like, I'm just having a chat with my tap. So that happened. That tape, see this fella? Before we started recording, I knocked it off to save myself a little bit of time so that I won't have to knock it off during the episode, during the recording. So that's good. That saves me a little bit of time. So I'm happy I got that out of the way. Yeah, I was going to have 7 showers on Monday to do me for the whole week. So I wouldn't have to get a shower during the week, but I didn't get a chance. So fucking had to have a shower again today, like every day. I'm sick of it, like, know what I mean? Spotless clean with the dirt. Shout out to the girl what works in Deals, who I didn't get her name. I called her Mary. She told me no, she's not Mary. And she will probably know what that means when she hears it. I don't want to say why I called her Mary, but she'll know. So shout out to you, Deals girl. And I bought those yolks that you put in the bottom of your wardrobe to make it smell nice. So I bought them off her and then had a chat to till for about 7 minutes. Yeah, good conversation. Another girl who listens to the podcast. And it's mad. Just everywhere I go, there's just different people that are listening. And I'm like, you, and you, and you. Fair play to you. Tell your neighbours about it. Tell everyone about it. And we'll keep it going. Yeah, we'll keep it fucking flying. So what else was I going to say? Do you ever be getting ready for work? And it's early in the morning and you're after peeling yourself up out of the bed. Like an old, you're after peeling yourself out of the bed like a Last Mary sticker on a bin outside a shop, right? You're peeling yourself outside the shop. You're peeling yourself out of the bed. You get on your work clothes and then you have to get your shoes on. I only wear a pair of tackies going to work. I don't need steel toe caps or anything like that, right? And then you have to tie your laces. There's some mornings there, I'd rather just quit my job than tie my laces. But it's it's horrible. Like, I wear a pair of, what are they called? The ones with Reacts, Nike React. I literally bought them for work. They're black. And I thought, oh yeah, they'll do the job, whatever. But then I realised they're very lacy. Not that kind of way. I was wearing a pair of 270s before that. I actually still have another pair of 270s there that I wear sometimes for work, but they need to be washed. But these Reacts are very lacy, like, you know, that kind of way. And I'm just kind of going like, oh, do I really need this? Do I really need to get this paper again today? And I do, like, I just need the paper. I just want, what's that again? What's the Biggie song? I just want the paper. I can't remember how it goes, but he does something like, oh, if you don't know now, you know, I just want the paper. It's a completely different song. Yeah, and you'd rather just quit, wouldn't you? While you're ahead. Am I ahead? You know what? I am. Yeah. I feel like just quitting while I'm ahead and just not going to work. And they're like, what's the story? I'd be like, I just couldn't be bothered tying my laces. And they're like, all right, we'll see you tomorrow. So, and I'm like, oh, forget about it. And I'm just there then snipping the laces out of my tackies and firing them out over the back wall. But yeah, probably a little bit dramatic. But look, it is what it is. So I went back to CEX. So the last time I was talking to you, I told you what happened with the looter router. Tried to sell my... Yeah, anyway, look, if you didn't listen to the last episode, you don't deserve to know what happened. But anyway, what happened was, I went back after I was talking to you with my little docket thingy that they gave me, and I got €55 for the oak. €55 cash into my hand, or I could have got €70 store credit. What a gas, man. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and listen to the last episode and support me, as H would say. Support me. Support me. 0161 money on the map. See what I did, lads. Do you know the way I'm a big tick slow bastard, right? So I've said it to you before that I find it very hard to be motivated to do any form of the gym or any of that kind of jazz, right? Even to go down and just go to the leisure side of it and go to the swim and the sauna and the swim, no, it says the swim, like, not the pool, the swim. Why did I say that? Anyway, but so, like, even to just go do the swim and the sauna and the steam room and the jacuzzi and stuff like that, I still find it very hard to get motivated and just go and fucking do it. So I reinstated. I'm going to say that. Do you know what I mean? I'll say whatever the fuck I want. This is my podcast. You won't be telling me what to say at all. Don't try to silence me. So I reinstated my gym membership for like the last month now at this stage. So when I first joined back, it was like 2 weeks before the renewal. And then it's been 2 weeks again, I'd say, since the money came out. So I've had, we'll say, 3 or 4 weeks of gym membership, and I went once, and it didn't go into the gym. I just went into the pool and the sauna and steam room and the jacuzzi, stuff like that. And I can't bring myself to do it. I don't know what it is. It's nice. It's unreal. It's relaxing. I love it. I went down and I was there for 2 hours the time that I went, and still, I'm just like, not doing it. Why aren't they doing it? I'm paying for it, and I just cannot bring myself to do it. And there's no reason, I'm not going like, I'm not going because I'm tired, because that's when I should go. When my body is tired or whatever, and go, and or even if my mind is tired, just go there and fucking switch off and relax, because you can't bring your phone in with you, do you know? So yeah, why can't I do that? I wish I could just do it, like, do you know, like, night, just do it. Um, so I was there and I was thinking to myself, why, can't I do it? Why won't I do it? And I was like, maybe it's because I feel like I need to change my diet and my kind of lifestyle that way. And if I don't do that, then I'm probably not going to see many results, because, like, that's the most fucking part of it. You know what I mean? I want to lose the belly. I want to get rid of my ditties, and I'm not going to achieve that by eating the way I'm eating and just going to the gym. So I thought, what am I going to do? And I keep thinking about it, you know, and I keep thinking about it every day. And I'd be eating a wrap or a roll or fucking bags of potatoes and bars and bullshit, and I'd be eating them, thinking like, yeah, tomorrow, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to fucking make up overnight oats now and bring them, and that way I won't be encouraged to stop at the shop for bullshit and blah blah blah. And then I'm going to bring this and that, and have a heat up lunchbox thing and all, that I can heat stuff up on the go, like, do you know what I mean? And I just don't prepare anything. I find it so fucking hard to just be prepared for anything. And if there's too many things to prepare, I just get overwhelmed and don't do anything, and then just end up in the same situation again the following day. So I was there on, what day is it now? Friday. So I was there on Monday, and no, nobody knows about this. Do you know why someone said, like, oh, I didn't tell anyone, or I didn't really tell her? Nobody knows about this. Only me. So whoever is the first person to listen to this podcast or watch it, you're the first person to know about this stupid idea that I had, right? So I was there on Monday, and I got, what did I get? I think I got a wrap. My thing when I go to the shop nowadays, in the deli, I'll get a wrap, bag of potatoes, a long wheelbase bar of chocolate, whether it be a Kit Kat or a Twix or a Mars or something like that. Or, do you know what I love as well? They're only normal fucking short wheelbase, standard chassis, fucking Galaxy caramel. Yeah, the Galaxy, the double bar thing with the twin caramel, a double barrel Galaxy, um, with the caramel inside, and then I'll get either a cup of tea or a can of Lucasade or something like that, and that'll be a standard lunch for me when I'm working, right? So I went and got that on Monday, whatever variation of that I just told you. Got that on Monday at about 2 or 3 o'clock. So then, when I got back home, I needed to go get something for the dinner. So I'm very bad for, as you probably know, I'm very bad for actually preparing for the week and being like, this is what we're going to have this day and that day. I kind of take it as it comes, take each day as it comes, and decide what to eat on that day. And that is one of the reasons why I can't fucking stick to anything, like. So I'd have all intentions of having a certain dinner, and the stuff would be in the fridge, and then I'll just get to that day, I'll be like, can't be bothered. And then I'll just have to throw it in the bin after a day or two. I'll be like, oh, I'll have it tomorrow. And then the next day I'm like, actually, it's been in the fridge now for 2 days. I don't know. And then you get to the following day, and like, I should probably try that out. And then you get to the next day, and the is winking up at you inside in the fridge. I'm like, okay, I need to try that out, or else it's just going to crawl out of the fridge itself and jump into the bin. Like, I'm off anyway, bud. See you later. Down into the bin, know what I mean? Elbow drop the bin. So I had to get something for the dinner. So I went over to Lidl, and when I walked in the door of Lidl, I got this brainwave. And as ye know from listening to me, I just get a brainwave. Something comes into my head, and I cannot get it out. It just does not go away. So I was thinking, if I don't do this now, then I'm never going to do it. Do it now, right? So I walked down near the eggs, and there is all the food supplements and all that's there, right? So there's these meal replacement shakes that you can get, right? So I was looking at them and I was thinking, what's the story with them? So I read the back of the pack, and it says you get 2 scoops of the powder or whatever is inside. You put it into a shaker. You add in 350 milliliters of water, shake it up, and you have that. And that replaces a meal. And it says on the bag as well, don't this is part of a balanced diet and blah blah blah. Meaning, don't just survive on shakes. Have food as well and have healthy food and blah 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 and whatever. No. So I was like, but what if I did just survive on shakes? What would that do? Would that give me a bit of a head start? And maybe, like, if I'm not eating as much shit and uh, just eating as much in general, whereas if I'm just drinking these twice a day, will that, like, unbloat me kind of, and my stomach might look a little bit flatter, and that I might think like, oh Jesus, yeah, I've actually, I can see a change. And I think that's what I was searching for, was to look at myself and see, because I don't care what a scale says or anything like that. I just care how it looks in the mirror, right? And I knew obviously I wasn't going to drop a bra size or anything like by doing this, right? But I thought, even if my belly goes down a little bit, then maybe that will motivate me. And no, I know there's probably people listening going like, "Why? What do you mean you don't even have a belly?" I understand that. I know I'm not, as I said, like, I just have my belly comes out a little bit and my chats, and I don't like it. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Anyway, I wouldn't be. I'm probably classed as overweight, but you wouldn't look at me and think, "Jesus, he's overweight." Do you know? But it's just like everyone is their own worst enemy when it comes to appearance and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And some people, like, you could look at the most attractive person in the world, whether it be a man or a woman, and they're just looking, going, nah, but sure, look at this and look at that. And you'll always find a problem with yourself. Um, and I'm unreal, like, I'm an unbelievable personality. You know what I mean? Have you ever met me? Like, if you ever spoke to me, I'm fucking class. Like, um, but yeah, I just judge myself way more than I feel anybody else does. So I thought, what if I did survive on shakes? How long could I do that for? And how long would it be safe to do that? And how long before I'd notice a difference? You know, would a week make me look slightly different and motivate me to change around my lifestyle and motivate me to go to the gym and get fit and get exercise and stuff? And I'm not lazy. Like, if someone said to me, "Do you want to walk to Norway?" I'd be like, "Yeah, come on. Let me get on my tackies, not the ones with the laces, and I'll walk to Norway." Like, but for me to drive for 10 minutes and go into the gym, it's just so much of a fucking effort for me. I don't know what it is. Just to have this block in my mind, and I don't know how to do the gym. Do you know what I mean? And my mentality when I first go into the gym is like, sure, I'll just do cardio for a while and get used to that. And then that will motivate me to move on to, like, weight training and machines and stuff like that, you know? And it just never happens. I just fall out with it, whatever. So anyway, I got this fucking meal replacement yolk, and I just picked up a dinner for my daughter, just enough for her. So I cooked that for her, and then I just had a shake, right? So it said on the thing, 2 scoops of powder, 350 milliliters of water, shake it up and drink it. And that's your meal, right? I thought, right, that's very easy. Simple for me to stick to. I'll just do that. I won't eat anything else. I'll still have 1 or 2 cups of tea in the day. Now, I've actually started having the odd cup of coffee again. Um, One a day is the most that I've been having, but yesterday was a fucking nightmare of a day. It was very long. I needed a little kick. I needed a little treat, I felt like. So I got myself another cappuccino, a second cappuccino yesterday, and a 5 pack of them fucking snowballs. And I ate 3 of them, and I felt pure sick after them, right? But anyway, do you know them snowballs with the, like, foamy kind of stuff in the middle? Yeah, I got a 5 pack of them, and I ate 3 of them, and I felt really sick after it. And drank the cappuccino, and them. And there's still 2 of those snowballs there in the van that I'm probably going to eat on Monday at whatever time in the morning, right? Anyway, so, oh shit, I'm after giving it away. Anyway, So I had the shake thing, right? And I was like, okay, it's nice. It was cookies and cream flavour. So I felt like there was a little bit of I felt like it was a little bit powdery. And so, do you know the way a lot of the shakers, like for proteins or whatever, would have that kind of grate thing on the top? Well, my shaker is not great because it doesn't have the grate. It has like a little ball, a wire ball made out of wire, and it's a ball. Um, and that's inside there, and that you when you shake your shaker, that flies around and breaks up all the powder and the water and blah. But I felt like it was still a little bit powdery and bitty and stuff like that, you know. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. Look, I probably just need to shake it a little bit more next time. And I kind of kept shaking it throughout. And 1 second now. I kind of kept shaking it while I was drinking it, and it was nice. And it did me for the night, right? So 2 scoops of the powder. It says, yeah, add 2 scoops, and then in brackets it says 60 grams. 60 grams? 60 grams. Is it? Yeah. See, is it grams? I know it's 60, but it is grams, isn't it? Yeah, it's not 60 kilos anyway, because I break my back trying to shake it. But anyway, um, so that was grand. It did that, and grand, nice. So that was Monday evening. So I had food Monday in the daytime, and then Monday evening I was like, I'm just going to have a shake. I'm going to drink a load of water and make sure I'm hydrated, and then that'll keep me full. Grand. Went to bed that night, no problem whatsoever, no hunger. Woke up the next morning and I thought, yeah, I'll have that now. I thought, no, I'll hold off and I'll have it around 9 o'clock or whatever. And I'll actually wait, I thought, until I feel a little bit hungry, and I'll have it then. And that would then, it'll be most beneficial because I'll be fuller for longer, or whatever, rather than having it when I'm not full. So I had one around 9 o'clock in the morning, grand, same thing, little bit powdery and lumpy, but still nice, still took my hunger away, grand. That evening, around 6 o'clock, had another one. So that was Tuesday. Zero food, didn't bite or chew one thing all day on Tuesday, right? Then I got to Wednesday, same situation on Wednesday. Had one in the morning time around 9 o'clock, had one around 6 o'clock on Wednesday evening. They're perfect, grand. I lasted grand. But what I actually noticed before I had the second one on Wednesday was that the scoop actually goes up as far as 70 grams. So I was looking, I was like, why does it say 2 grams or 2 scoops and in brackets 60 grams if one scoop is 70 grams? So what I was having is 2 and a bit scoops. No. 4 and a bit scoops. No. 60. Yeah. So by their measurements, I was having probably 5 scoops nearly per yoki. Yeah. Their measurements is that 30 grams is a scoop, basically, which is not even half the fucking yolk. So I was having 2.5 times nearly what I'm supposed to have per my jobber. So then I got to Wednesday evening and I noticed that. I made it properly and I thought, oh, that's way nicer. And then I got up on Thursday morning and I just felt like absolute bollocks. My head was kind of coming at me. I know, don't be telling me now, oh, you did that wrong. You shouldn't have done this. You should. I know I did it wrong. I know I probably shouldn't have done it. I know that's not how to do dieting or fucking healthy eating or anything like that. I understand that. I'm a fucking idiot. But that was my solution and that was my thing. Like, when would that work? And I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to tell anybody because I didn't want anyone to tell me that won't work. I didn't want to Google it and for Google to tell me that's not safe. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I got to Thursday morning and then I was like, can't do this. I'm not doing it. And they were like, oh, sure. What am I going to do? So am I going to just cancel my gym membership again or what? And I just went out Thursday then and ate like an absolute fucking aardvark. Is that how you say it? Aardvark? I don't even know what is that an anteater? I don't know. That was the first animal that came into my head. But yeah, I was just like, and I was like an elephant in the room. I was a bull in a china shop. but like I was like a young fella in a deli, basically. On Thursday, I just ate everything. Every shop I went into, I was like, yeah, another bar of chocolate. Yeah, another bar of potatoes, another bag of potatoes, another fucking fizzy drink, another cup of tea. And just basically, I don't know, was I punishing myself? Going like, yeah, you fucking idiot, you couldn't stick to it. And then eating and eating and eating. I like, I don't know what the, I don't know what it is, but I just have a bad relationship with food. Like, I don't know, is that classed as an eating disorder? Or is it classed as, uh, like it's kind of comfort eating, I suppose. I think that's what I'm doing. And I'm fucking sick of it because I don't want to be eating all that crap. I don't, like, I enjoy it while I'm doing it. And then straight after, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, why did I eat all that? So yesterday, I stopped and got a breakfast roll. Sorry, no, we'll start at the start. I got a cappuccino yesterday morning and a muffin in the petrol station, right? Had that. A muffin, no. The Circle K muffins, the toffee one, banging, right? That was grand. 5 sugars in my cappuccino. Do you know the paper sachet majabbers that they have in petrol stations? 5 of them in my cappuccino and a muffin. That was how I started my day. I was like, yeah, Friday now. Thursday, I just completely put it in the wall, ate and drank whatever I wanted. Then I got to Friday, had my cappuccino and my muffin first thing in the morning. That was grand. Then it came around 9, half 9, 10, something like that. I stopped in and I got myself a breakfast roll and I got myself a long wheelbase Kit Kat and I got myself a packet of sour cream and onion Hunky Dories and I got myself a can of Lucozade, the normal one, full fat as people call it, even though that's not how it's like full sugar, isn't it? And yeah, made an absolute pig of myself, right? Grand. So that's breakfast time now, and I'm having all the fucking shit that I'd usually have at lunch. Do you know what I mean? So then I had like a couple more bars and cups of tea and shit like that. Then I went to Zambrero and I got a burrito, right? Posted regular burrito. So at least I didn't get a large, right? But burritos, I'm only after discovering burritos, lads. Banging. I was talking to Badger off the Red Line Republic podcast. He won't hear this because he didn't fucking have time to listen to my podcast, even though I listened to his the first time when it comes out. But nah, lads, if anyone has it, just while we're on the subject, if anyone is into cars or interested in the car scene or whatever, the Red Line Republic podcast on Spotify and YouTube, 2 young fellas talking about cars and everything around the car scene and stuff like that. Very interesting and good crack as well. They're a good laugh, the lads, in fairness. And they mention me on every episode for one reason or another. So it's only fair that I give them a bit of a shout out. Someone actually told me as well. Someone told me recently that they were listening to Aisling Unfiltered's podcast, Aisling Unfiltered's podcast that she does with Katie Sheehan. And my podcast came on afterwards. It must be in like related podcasts or something like that because we're both Limerick or whatever. And that's how she started listening to me. So shout out to them as well. I'm not even going to try now. I forget the name of their podcast, but Katie kill me. Katie had me on Spins Out West and everything to promote my podcast just after I recorded episode 1. I can't even remember if I gave her a shout out on the podcast, and yeah, so sorry, Katie. But yeah, sorry, I went off on one there. So I was talking to Badger from the Red Line Republic podcast, and I was telling him about the burritos when I first got one. And since I first got one, I'm after having like 4 now in the space of a couple of weeks, and they're unreal. But he was saying like, oh, I don't know, like I feel pressured when I walk up to buy one. I don't know what to get on it, and I don't want to sound like a dope when they're asking me, oh, do you want and you don't know what that is. Do you get me? So I tried to explain my order to him, whatever. So burritos are my new thing. So long story short, I had a burrito What time was that at? That was probably at 3 o'clock or something. Then about about a half an hour later, I got my second cup of coffee and a packet of snowballs, and there 3 snowballs. Yeah, and then I came home and had a bowl of stew and 2 slices of bread. There's no need of it, like, and I hate it. I love eating. I love the food, but I hate overeating, and I hate not being able to eat healthy, and I hate being unprepared and not going to the gym and not getting fit and active and summer body, you know what I mean? Hot dad summer, you know what I mean? I want to do hot dad summer and I can't. I'm just not able to fucking do it. Tell me how to do it. Anyway, yeah, so that's my tangent. That's my situation. And that's my stupid thing that I did to try and speed up weight loss, I suppose you'd call it, and it just didn't work. And it's probably a stupid idea. And you're probably telling me now why it didn't work and what I should have done instead. And I know I'm just pure slow. And if someone tells me the right way to do it, I probably won't be able to stick to it. I just don't know how to change my life around. I don't know. My brain doesn't allow me. And the doctor reckons I don't need to get assessed to find out what's wrong with me. I'm not saying that for that reason that I just explained to you that I think there's something wrong with my brain. But anyone who listens to this podcast all the time, lads, you'll understand. I cannot focus. I can't stick to the one subject. And that's probably entertaining for ye, which is grand. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I started this podcast. And I love doing this podcast because I know it gives people a laugh. And when I don't feel like laughing, or I'm not laughing, or I'm just dead straight face for fucking hours, and someone texts me going like, "Oh man, that thing on the podcast had me in bits laughing," and blah blah blah, that makes me laugh in my brain. Not even audible laughter, or even sometimes I wouldn't even smile, and inside I'm going, "Yeah, I made that person laugh. Yeah, that makes me feel good." Do you know what I mean? And that, as I explained in episode 1, that's kind of the main reason that I'm doing this podcast and that I'll continue to do this podcast. So yeah. I put my leg up in the other chair now, nice and cozy, comfortable. I put a story up on Instagram. Now when I try chill out here. I put up a story up on Instagram before, and I was like, lads, did Rolos change? You know, the chocolate Rolos. I did give you my last Rolo kind of a chat. Did they change, or do I just remember them wrong? Because I got like a multi-pack of Rolos one day, and I was eating them, and I was thinking like, these are weird. And I checked the date and all to check where they gone off, because there was just something weird about them. I didn't know what it was. And I was eating them away, and they were just like chocolate and caramel and very soft, and they just didn't remind me of Rolos. So I put up an Instagram story about it. Jesus, this is probably it is definitely over a year ago now at this stage. And people were saying, no, that's munchies you're thinking about, because what I thought Rolos had was a biscuit base. And even if it wasn't biscuit, I feel like the base was a little bit harder, but I was fully convinced that there was some bit of biscuit involved. And people were like, no, you're thinking of munchies. I'm not, because munchies always seemed like a bit of a posh sweet when I was growing up, and I didn't ever have posh things. You know what I mean? I have a pizza cutter now. I'm doing all right for myself, like, you know what I mean? A pizza cutter and a potato masher and a tin opener and everything, by tell you now. So, yeah. Does anyone remember Rolos that have biscuit in them? Or is that just like a Mandela effect? Or is it just Murphy's Law? Or is it just taking a horse of water and not being able to make him drink? Or is it maybe even like fucking the grass is always greener on the other side? Never judge a book by its cover. Don't put all your eggs in the one basket. Don't count your chickens before they're all in the one basket. Never look a bull in a china shop. But I'll tell you one thing now, lads, never look a bull in a china shop. Know what I mean? Never. My mother always used to tell me to never address an elephant in a room. And that's advice that you can take with you. You can do what you wish with it. Do you ever see your man on TikTok? And he does all that. He mixes up all the quotes. He's like, "Yo, you can't teach a horse new dog tricks. You can take a horse to water, but you can't teach a dog new tricks." You know, he mixes up all the quotes, and that's something that me and a few of the lads have always kind of done. Well, me and one of the lads particularly, we've always kind of done it, and then we came across this fella and we're like, "Oh, he does the thing that we do." Me and a few of the lads, we have a few different things. Or we'd another one of the lads, no, a few of them. Jesus Christ above, shit am I talking? Me anyway, and other people would use the wrong phrase for something. Like instead of saying like, "Jesus, the traffic is chock-a-block," we'd say like, "Jesus, that traffic is fucking unconstitutional," or something. You know, we'll use the wrong phrase for something, and that's a form of entertainment for me. And yeah, that's what this fella does on TikTok. I can't remember his name. Stupid. I probably shouldn't have even went into it. But yeah, it is what it is anyway. And speaking of me being a fat little prick, right? I was watching The Chase. Does that bother you when I'm looking off over there? Because I'm just kind of chilling. For the audio listeners, you don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah. Would you rather me look at you? Because I just kind of get distracted and look away. But that's because my leg is up on the other chair. And I'm just swinging, just chilling, know what I mean? And you're here chilling with me. Like I'm just a podcaster, like, and you're just here listening to me. Know what I mean? I don't know. So, I was watching The Chase last night, and fucking Bradley Walsh. I was going to call him Louis Walsh, but that's not his name. Then I was going to call him Bradley Cooper. That's also not his name. Bradley Walsh, fucking, he called out the question. He was like, "What chocolate is usually on top of Jaffa cakes?" Right, and the options were milk chocolate, white chocolate, and dark chocolate. Your man guessed dark chocolate, and he got it right. Dark chocolate on top of Jaffa cakes? That sounds disgusting. I don't think there's dark chocolate on Jaffa cakes. I was waiting for him to say like, "Oh, chocolate orange" or something, and they were like, "Dark chocolate." I was like, "What?" Surely there's not dark chocolate on top of Jaffa cakes, is there? Or is there like dark chocolate ones that you can get? If there is, then I don't want to know about them. Keep them to yourselves, and I'll just get the normal ones, or I'll just get the Aldi or the little ones or whatever, and it'll be like Tower Gate or something like that. It'll be the brand of them. But why are they allowed to call them Jaffa cakes, no matter where they are? Like, you'd think that someone would have that term, that name copyrighted or trademarked or watermarked, whatever. But it seems like anyone is allowed to just call them Jaffa cakes. It must be just like a universal thing. Um, that's mad, isn't it? Cakes, then, like, and they're biscuits. Like, are they biscuits? Are they cakes? Is it a biscuit or a cake? How did you get the fig and the fig rolls? I was in Kildare Village. Can't remember when it was, last week or this week. I don't know. And I was walking past the Crocs shop, and there was three people walking towards me, and actually, there was three people first. Oh, what way did he say it again? Oh yeah, one fella goes to the other. So there was two fellas and a girl, and one fella says to the other fella, "My friend is hungry or not yet?" That was his way of asking him if he was hungry. "My friend is hungry or not yet?" So that was grand. And then 2 seconds later, three other people walked past me. Don't know their genders. And one of them looked at the Crocs shop, which is just up from the Under Armour shop. And he looked at it and goes, "Oh, Crocs. Oh, I love a Croc." I got really like, "Oh, Crocs." Why did I do that? I can do the fucking... Lads, I haven't even I haven't even had one drink through the whole entire podcast. Are you proud of me? Fucking hell. Did anyone notice that now? Or was I just, yeah, I didn't notice it and you didn't, you didn't notice it. I don't know if you noticed it, but you might have. Isn't that mad? That's probably because no, I didn't have a chance to make a cup of tea. So, yeah. So then when I have what Luke said and I just forgot to drink any of it, which is mad. And I just felt my mouth getting a bit dry and I was like, hey, hold up, wait a minute, let me put some Lucozade in it. So, do you know the way I was telling you that I had a stew? Very controversial topic here now, right? I love a stew. I put loads of stuff into a stew, right? I'll put in cauliflower, broccoli, uh, carrots, onions, celery, um, meat. Obviously, there's meat now. It's like, but do you know? I'll kind of just throw in and like cauliflower and broccoli wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea in a pot of stew because it's not tea, it's stew. But what I do is I put it in and I leave it in there for so long. Like the stew that I made now the other day was on for 5 hours. So by the time I had it, the broccoli was just fucking particles inside it. Like, do you know what I mean? And the onions are fucking pure soft and the celery, stuff like that, right? But I actually saw someone preparing a stew on their Snapchat story. Follow me at Walshunit. Um, Actually, yeah, I keep forgetting to say it at the start of my episode to follow me on all socials because I'd be afraid in case people don't hear me saying it at the end. So yeah, all my socials are at Walshunit, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube. We're on YouTube and Spotify for anyone who's on either apps and doesn't realise that. The Unit Podcast on Spotify and YouTube. Or Walsh Unit on Spotify or YouTube. But TikTok is Walsh Unit 41. Why did I start saying that now? What was I talking about? Totally blank. Snapchat. Oh, the stew. So I saw someone preparing their stew on their Snapchat story and they had 2 packets of mushrooms for their stew. Is this normal or what? Or am I wrong? Because I can't imagine putting mushrooms in a stew. It just doesn't. That you know, you know that mushrooms in a stew shit. That just doesn't sit right with me. It just, you know, it just doesn't sit right with me. Does it sit right with you? I think it sounds all wrong anyway. It just doesn't sit right with me, right? So I was talking to somebody who is also a stew lover. I know that because we've spoken about it before. I sent a message and sent the message out into the world, and I said, I'm after seeing someone's story and they're putting mushrooms. They're putting mushrooms into their stew. And she goes, yeah, I do that too. And then I goes, say what? Whoa, what the hell? Oh my God, no way, hey, oh no, brother, come on. Do you know what I mean? This doesn't sit right with me. What? Am I wrong? For thinking that we could be something for real? Oh yeah. Am I wrong? For trying to say that fucking mushrooms don't go in stew? Yeah. Know what I mean? Who am I fucking... What are they called again? Nico and Vince or something, is it? No. Nico and Vince. Is it? Am I wrong? I don't know. Is it Nico and Vince or am I wrong? But, yeah, I don't know. Put it in the comments. Don't forget to be putting it in the comments. And let me know. Is it normal to have, I'm going to do an Instagram poll, and I'll bring back my findings on next week's episode. That's what I'm going to do. Mushrooms in a stew, yes/no. And I was talking to my barber a while ago. Check out. Has you ever seen anything like that? I was talking to my barber a while ago, and he said that he keeps on trying to get him to use a can of Guinness when they're cooking the stew at home. Now, I've never done that. What I did try was a can of Bulmers to cook a ham. And I can tell you right now, it was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. Wasn't for me. It was for me, like, but the flavour wasn't my favourite flavour. Do you get me? And I like Bulmers also. I didn't get drunk off the ham. Nothing. Pure waste of time. I was looking at the ham. I was like, fucking that ham must be a bad batch, but I got nothing off it. That ham. I'm going back to Duns and be like, hi, come on, I'll tell you, see that ham? Got nothing off it. And they'd be like, what do you mean? I'd be like, I poured a can of ham. I poured a can of Bulmers into that ham. I cooked it, cooked the back axle off it, and I got nothing off it. It literally got nothing off it. Take that back. Yeah. Do you cook stew? Fucking hell. Do you cook stew with ham, I was going to say. Do you cook stew with Guinness? Or have you ever done that? And what's the knack? Do you know what? I could actually look up the fucking recipe, but I just want to know how, what would you cook it with? Do you know, what's your, I won't call it unconventional, because I know that they fucking do like a Guinness stew in pubs and stuff like that, but what different way do you do it? And what's the story with like cooking ham in Coca-Cola and stuff like that? I've heard people doing that before as well. No, I've never tried that, but I did try cook it in the Bulmers and didn't like it at all. What nice at all. Just gave it a weird tang. So yeah, mushrooms in a stew? Yes or no? Guinness in a stew? Yes or no? Bulmers in a fucking ham? Yes or no? Linden Village in a ham? Yes or no? Devil's Bit in a ham? Yes or no? Orchard Thieves in a ham? Yes or no? Outsider in ham? Yes or no? I can't remember any other names of ciders. Copperberg fucking mixed berries in a ham. Oh God, imagine that. Ugh. Bed off the ground after eating it, boy. What else was I going to say to you? What else? I'm being very disrespectful now, looking away from the camera. But you see, there's a fucking seat next to me, and it's making me put my foot up. So, yeah. Do you know my daughter came up with a good idea? I don't know how you'd invent it though. She said, when you smell somebody's perfume or aftershave, that there should be a thing like Shazam, where you can actually check what scent it is. Isn't that good? Because you ever be dealing with somebody in a shop, or even just passing somebody, and you get a smell, you're like, "Ooh, that's nice. What's that, I wonder?" And you can't just go, "Sorry, what are you wearing?" They'd be like, "What?" Do you know? So if you had like a Shazam thing and you could just hold it, and then they'd go, "Oh, bunk, that is Armani, Emporio Armani diamonds," or something. Know what I mean? And then, yeah, it's actually a good idea, isn't it? Sorry, I had the turntable at the wrong speed. Want me to try it again? Who the fuck are you? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your... Know what I mean? I can't believe that. I can't believe I used to be awkward doing this podcast. You know what I mean? Now I'm just sitting there chilling with a bottle of Luke said, man, like, and I couldn't give a bollocks. Couldn't give two bollocks is what you think. No, I do. I want you to. I want you to like my podcast. I do. Will you start subscribing to me on Spotify? Because they're going up slowly. Subscribe on YouTube and subscribe on Spotify. And then like follow all the socials as well. It really helps me. It really helps me. I'm fucking banging away up on the old socials. My videos are them AI Peppa Pig videos are going good. To be fair. They're going good. So Dogwalker Shit Talker was right. I do need to do more Peppa Pig videos. Dogwalker Shit Talker was right. And Mungo Jerry. Shout out to the boys. What is that noise Sounds like a fucking pterodactyl outside or something like that. I hope there's not a pterodactyl. Sick. Britney Spears got arrested. Or was it for drink driving or something like that? She's she's only after getting all her, was it her money or what? Her father was in charge of it or something. But she's not well, is she? Not making fun of her or anything like that, but she's just genuinely just does not seem right in the head in however, whatever number of years. Even she's posting videos of her dancing with nothing on her and just covering bits with emojis, and she's even doing it in such a way that you pin the emoji to the video and it'll follow your nipple around or whatever, and then won't expose it. But how is she so confident that technology is going to work? You know what I mean? And if 15-year-old me heard that Britney Spears was going to be doing stuff like that on Instagram, do you know what I'd say? What's Instagram? Because it wasn't around when I was 15, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? But yeah. What? What time is it? Yeah, I must bust a move in a few minutes now, but sure, look, I'll give you another few minutes. Will I give you a little... So, I don't know, is this a life hack? Or, no, forgive me for checking the time. My brother Ed gives out to me. Oh, you shouldn't be checking the time because, you should just keep... I know, I'm in a rush today. I'm in a hurry. Hurry, step right up. I was thinking of coming on and just talking really fast and trying to get through the hour faster. But, still making it an hour, but a faster hour. Do you get me? Well, I'm well, welcome back to the Own Podcast. I'm my host. Watch you. Do you know? Yeah, so I don't know. Would this be classed as a life hack? I don't know. So, fabric softener, right? So, what I do with fabric softener is I'll buy, do you know the way they're on offer every time? Every time you go to Tesco or Dunn's or something like that, fabric softener is just on offer all the time. So I'll buy a bottle of fabric softener, Comfort, or probably, mostly Comfort or whatever, right? And I bring that home. Grand, I'm hardly going to leave it in the shop, right? And then the next time I'm in Dunn's or Aldi or Lidl or whatever it might be, I'll buy their own brand of fabric softener, right? And then the next time I'm anywhere, I'll buy the proper fabric softener. And then the next time I'm anywhere, I'll buy the cheap fabric softener. And what I do with them is mix them all together. So I always have 3 bottles of fabric softener under the sink, right? And I'll get the cheap one and I'll make sure there's 3 even amounts in all the bottles. And I'll fill them back up to the top with the cheap one. No, sorry, I'll fill 2 of them up to the top with the cheap one, and then I'll pour them into the third one and pour the first one into the second one, pour the second one into the third one and the first one into the sixth one, and I'll just keep doing that and mixing them up, and I'm making a concoction. I'm basically cutting my fabric softener with cheaper fabric softener, and all different fragrances and stuff, and they're nice. They smell nice. I don't know, is that a life hack, or is that stupid, or am I killing it? Am I causing some sort of a chemical reaction that makes the fabric softener not fabric softener as much as it should? Even though it does fabric softener, it does. I can smell it. So, yeah, I don't know. Is that a good idea? Or is it a stupid idea? I don't know. Does anyone else do that? Put it in the comments. Text me, baby, on Snapchat. Yeah, I don't know. As I said, I does my own things. I'm weird, but yeah. Do you know what? I actually like the lid is attached to your bottle nowadays. And when I get one that's not attached, I'm like, wish it was attached. Because it's handy, look, it's there all the time. You can never lose your lid. And yeah, I just find it convenient now. And people are like, oh, you'd be hitting off your nose and you're taking a drink. Turn the fucking thing to the side. Look. They do nothing to my nose. But I still haven't put Peter Griffin on my soundboard anyway. You know what really grinds my gears? But yeah, so I think I've said it before. The most annoying thing on the road for me when I'm driving at night, nearly every night, I see somebody driving with no lights on. And it fucking winds me up. I hate it because I'm just thinking, like, how in the name of God can you drive around with no lights on and not notice? Do you know what I mean? Everyone's flashing, you know? It's pitch divine dark and you're just cruising around with no lights on. What's the story with you, right? So, I was driving last night. I was driving last night and there was a van. It was a Transit Connect. I came up behind him, no lights on. Came up beside him and I could kind of see a little bit of light in his headlights. So I think his daytime running lights or his parks were on or something like that. So I was driving along. I beeped. Your man looked over at me and I goes, did a twisty gesture and said, I did that with my mouth, like, because he wouldn't have been able to hear me because we were driving next to each other on the motorway. And he looked at me and went, as if like, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, I understand. I know what you mean. So I was like, fine, that's grand. Overtook John because I was in the fast lane, he was in the slow lane. And I just drove on and I looked and he hadn't turned on his lights. He was just cruising down along the road in the pitch divine dark with parking lights on or fucking daytime running lights or something. And it was nighttime running lights. Do you know? And I was thinking, like, what did he think? What did he think that I was telling him to do? Do you know? Did he think like that I was telling, turn up the radio? Because I was doing that gesture. It looked like me turning up a volume button or something like that. You know what I mean? But I only did it and like, did. Do you know? Kind of like, turn the lights. Twisted a little bit. Like, I didn't go like twisting like you would with a volume button or anything. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, he looked like he was, put you up, no bother, I'll do that now. Cheers, thanks very much. Thanks a lot. I understand, fellow driver. I'm going to turn on my lights now. Going to be safe for everyone, safe for me, safe for the other drivers. Nah, just left him off. I think, like, what is wrong with people? How do you not know that your lights are off? If someone flashes you when you're on the road, you think, oh, is there a speed van ahead? Is there guards ahead? Is there a horse in the middle of the road? Which is a very common occurrence. Or are my lights off? First thing you check is, are my lights off? Because you can check that. You can't check any of the other things. You just need to wait and see. Right? You need to wait and see, is there a horse on the road? You need to wait and see, is there a guard with a balaclava and tucked in behind a tree, pointing a fucking yoke at you? You need to wait and see if there's a speed van. You can check, you're in control of your car's headlights. Check them if someone flashes you. Because if it's me, I'll go like, I know you're not even meant to do that. But what are you supposed to do? So you're not supposed to flash your lights at people to tell them to turn on their lights. It's illegal, apparently. I don't give two bollocks. What's illegal? I'm going to tell you to turn on your lights. Not in an aggressive way. Even if I'm snapping in the van or the car, whatever. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to, you fucking lights. You fucking lights. Do you know what I mean? I'll still flash you normally, like, do you know what I mean? Not aggressively. You know? Just turn on your lights. Just have them on the whole time, like me. Just turn on your lights all the time. Just get up in the morning, turn on your lights, and when you go into bed, turn them back off. What's the big idea? Chump. Sorry, I didn't mean to fly off the handle like that. But, yeah. Just turn them on. Yeah. What was I thinking? Something came into my head now. I don't know. What came into my head while I was in the shower, I was thinking about, like, if someone was a bad singer and it was a woman, you could call her Timu Turner. Isn't that good? Because I got a notification from Timu this morning saying that my package is shipped. And then I thought, a while ago I was in the shower, I was like, Timu Turner. And I had no context or anything like that. I was like, Timu Turner. And I was like, you could call that to somebody who's a bad singer and they're a girl. Like, all right, Timu Turner. You know? And that the unflow of Fairly Odd Parents, Timmy Turner. wonder is he related to Tina? I don't know. I wonder if you went to the doctors. No, imagine if you went to the doctors, right? And the doctor was there with their little clipboard. They always have a clipboard in my mind for some reason. I don't know why. And the jump leads are on their neck and that. And imagine if you went to the doctors and the doctor was like, "Do you smoke?" And you were like, "Oh, yeah, I do, yeah." Imagine if the doctor jumped up and started boxing the head off you. That's what they should do, isn't it? And then people would just quit smoking. Like, I will, yeah, and I get a bait off my doctor. I'm not fucking smoking no fags. That'd be good, wouldn't it? I think I'm going to fucking try and bring that to the HSE and be like, "Come here, I've a suggestion for you." Do you know what? I'm putting that out there. If anyone works for the HSE, tell whoever's surname is HSE, Patrick HSE or whatever his name is, Patrick Hussa. Tell him I said, if you ask somebody, do they smoke or vape, and they say yeah, just box the head off them, dig them around the room. Know what I mean? Just be like, "Yeah, do you smoke or anything like that?" "Do, yeah, 20 a day." And they're like, "All right, And they just crack their knuckles and they get up and go, "Right." And then they start kind of doing all this now, twisting out their shoulder muscles and stuff like that. Shoulder muscles? Twisting out their shoulders and like cracking their neck and stuff like that. And then they go, "Right, stand up." And they just box the head off you, dig you around the doctor's office. That's what they should do. That's what they should do. And if not, and they want to be funny about it, they should just be like, "Hi, and do you smoke at all, Mr. Walsh?" "Oh, I do, yeah, 20 a day." And then the doctor will be like, "Ah, good, give me one there, will you? I'm not paid until the end of the month, I've no fags." That'll be another good one. I made a video like that before and I have to remake it. So I probably shouldn't have said that. Because, like, I want to remake the video because the video doesn't exist now. So anyway, yeah, just talk bullshit there for an hour. And you like it, so you know what you're fucking complaining about, like. Know what I mean? Follow me on all the socials. Follow me on all the socials. Because I talk shit all the time, all day. That's what I do. I don't do it for a living. I'd like to do it for a living. But who's going to pay me? You? Who's going to give me the money to do it for a living? You? You will, yeah. How much? How much? Look at me. No, you make an offer. Tell me how much. Yeah. See, you're saying that. No, you're staying quiet. Yeah. Put in the comments. How much? No. Thanks for listening. The Unit Podcast, episode 11. Over and out. All the socials. YouTube, Spotify. Spotify, is that a social? I don't know. YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Email is walshunit@gmail.com. All the other socials are walshunit. TikTok is walshunit41. Follow me. Send me a letter. I'm not giving you my address, but like, I don't know, write a letter and take a picture of it or something and send it to me. Email it to me or Snapchat me or something like that. And I am going to I'm going to lovely and leave you. And yeah, another episode, consistent. I don't miss. Isn't that what they say? I don't miss. So thanks for listening. And as the Wanted said, I'm after fucking it up. As the Wanted said, I'm glad you came. And everybody, have a good.
The unit.